What's going on, guys? Cascade4 back at you again today for another video. This time it is not about, I'm not doing a reaction video today, so please don't click off of the video, but it's rather a discussion about an announcement that was made a few weeks back with the Michael Jackson estate. And I probably should have talked about it earlier, but I'm here to talk about it now, so please hear me out, don't leave, please. But today, anyway, getting into the discussion. A few weeks back, the Michael Jackson estate announced that in 2020 there would be a Michael Jackson biopic-like musical that would be premiering on Broadway. Yeah, that is huge news. I just want to shed a little light and share my thoughts on it, covering a few topics. First of which being who they're going to have play Michael Jackson, which is a very, very interesting to think about because obviously, you know, Broadway choreography, you know, the style of Broadway, the way they present songs, you know, it's all very, very different. It's wonderful. I love it, but it's a very interesting thought to think how they're going to translate Michael's music catalog into the show. Like, that's going to be very interesting. I mean, they've done similar projects to it, like, you know, of course, I'm wearing my Motown shirt, the original musical, which I saw, and it came to around where I lived, and it was great. I really liked it. And that also gets to the point of who they're going to have play Michael Jackson, of course, which I wouldn't doubt if they would have a different MJ for, like, each era, or, like, have different actors, you know, play him. Like, for example, of course, in the Motown musical, they had a young child play Michael in the Jackson 5 days and the Jackson days. And he danced, he sang, he glided across he was a great little Michael, he was awesome. So I wouldn't outrule that as being a possibility. I think that they very well could do like a young Michael, getting older, like around off the wall era kind of Michael, you know, trying to figure out. I think it'd be a very interesting plot point if they discuss, you know, Michael getting a movie deal, then maybe a tiny little scene of him being on set or something like that for The Wiz with Diana Ross, you know, playing some character like that, that'd be great. And then him making the decision that he was going to move away from his family and from his brothers and decide to go do a solo career. And, you know, just the ideas that he's had and just the turmoil inside of him of what to do. I think that'd be a very, very, very good thing to shed light on. You know, just Michael splitting from the family and really going on a solo career, his own path, his own ideas, his own music. You know, just this huge artist that we all know and love today, of course. Anyway, yeah, I think that'd be a really good idea. Then, of course, they might have an actor come in for Thriller, you know, the Jerry curls and all this different stuff. And then a bad era Michael or a dangerous Michael. I don't know if they're going to do a history Michael. I don't know if they're going to switch, like, actors, you know, like, every time Michael releases a new album. You know, something like that. But I think they are going to be playing a little bit with the different actors appearing on stage for, like, different big transitions in Michael's life. Of course, they're going to have an actor play, you know, the huge highlight Thriller. They're going to outline that. It's going to be big. It's going to be grand. You know, it's Broadway. Watching this musical gives you a bit of a picture of how it might be presented onto the stage. But, you know, who's going to play Michael? Really, again, that's an interesting thing. Are they going to do a trained actor that's ready for stage, or are they going to choose, like, a film actor or an impersonator even? You know, like a really great impersonator? Of course, the only few impersonators that we really know that have really done work on film or as acting as MJ or filling in as a sort of role as MJ, not just the music and the singing and dance, you know, more of just the character and the essence of MJ. We've really seen that only a few times, one of which being Michael Jackson's Searching for Neverland, which came out last year, which of course Navi, Michael Jackson impersonator, played Michael in the film. I really did enjoy the film. I thought it was a great portrayal. There were some things, of course, you don't like, but it's never perfect. But I was very pleased with the project. But anyway, as I was saying, Navi, of course, they had him play, and he was a pretty good MJ. He's a pretty good actor, actually. I'll give that to him. He definitely has a bigger skill set than I thought he did. I mean, personally, he's not a super, super, super good MJ dancer. He's okay. Don't get me wrong. He has his own style, and I highly respect Navi. But he's not my favorite when it comes to just, you know, his take on Michael Jackson. It's not my absolute favorite. But it was very good, especially when the acting portion came in. So I'm curious if they're going to choose somebody like Navi or perhaps Ernest Valentino. Like I said, again, he's one of the few MJ impersonators we've really seen transition into a film or a documentary type piece. And he was seen in the documentary, I believe, came out about 2 years ago, called Man in the Mirror, a documentary by Michael Jackson or something like that. And he didn't have any lines, he didn't really go delve into the character and what happened with MJ. Of course, the documentary went in depth about that. He was just kind of the stand-in MJ, just kind of like for dramatic effect, like somebody in the background just kind of going through the events. He was used as like a double to do that. So like I said, those are the few that we've really seen that we know have pretty good acting skills and playing into the role. And again, I'm not sure if they're really going to choose somebody from the stage world, from the Broadway world, from, like a Broadway actor. That'd be very different, though, I feel like, because they're so accustomed to this Broadway has this huge, extravagant, this essence. Of course, I'm not saying to undermine the show, make it not extravagant, make it really, really dramatic, like a show or a movie or something like that. I'm saying, that, they just come from a different background, of course, and of course, when you're asked to take on a project like Michael Jackson, of his style of dance, his style of artistry, it's a really different thing because he was, as unique as he was, of course, he was unique on his own, but the fact that, Broadway actors, if they were to be coming under the production, and somebody as a Broadway actor playing Michael Jackson, be very, very different for them, I think, and be a very different experience because of just the background they come from and just, going into Michael Jackson, doing a show like that. It's just very different. It'll be very interesting and exciting if they do it right, of course. And then, of course, the other thing is asking what content they're going to cover about the show because, like many have said, Michael's life was big. It's a long, complicated story with some very touchy subjects. It really begs the question what the estate is going to allow because, they've been protecting Michael this whole time with every single project that comes around about Michael Jackson. They're like, if it's not a CD or something to do with his music or a track, we didn't authorize it. It's not okay. It's not okay. Like, Searching for Neverland, Drake's new song, countless other opportunities that they turned down that they don't want to do. At this point, it's kind of ridiculous that they use the excuse of protecting Michael's legacy because the fans do a lot more for him and his legacy than the estate really does, to be honest with you. They need to see what the Elvis Presley estate is doing. Like I was saying, so are they going to cover things like the trial or the molestation charges or his changing appearance or his skin condition? There's just these many big points. They're very important. But how are they going to do it? How are they going to cover it? And how much of it are they going to cover? Like, of course, dealing with the music and the touchy subject, Michael rebelled against the Sony music industry, and he calling, the head exec of that company, Tommy Mottola, saying some words about him.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
And just, exhibiting disgust about the company Sony and just, just the music industry and how they treat certain artists and things like that. It really does beg the question what they're going to omit, what they're going to put in. If they leave in major plot points and they go some into it, they don't completely delve into it, but they give us a firm understanding of it, and really a true understanding of it, then I'll be happy. They don't have to go into every single detail like court documents, stuff like that, because all of that's very hard to go through and relive. It's a very powerful and overwhelming thing when it comes to MJ. It makes you think. Like I said, I don't have a question about who he is. I know in my mind who he was. But, again, it's just going to be a very interesting thing to cover. And then, of course, History in the Mix, if you guys know him, has said it really just does come down to casting and just what they're going to do with it and how they're going to present songs. I don't want it to be little cheesy slip-ins and, there can be some comedy in it, of course, just to get things, but I don't want it to be like, you know what you guys know what I mean. But, I think if it's done right, it'll be spectacular, and it'll show the world, it'll assert his presence as the King of Pop again, into a different world. It'll introduce him to many different people. It will right in his audience, it'll do a lot of things. And again, if it's done right, it'll do so much more and it'll be great. But again, it just comes down to casting, what content they're going to cover, how they're going to cover it, how they're going to fit it all in there, how they're going to present it visually, if they're going to add anything new, there's just a lot of things that really will go into this. So you know, it's a big project. I'm excited because I love Broadway, of course. I'm a performer myself. I love to sing, I love to act, I love to dance, especially on stage and shows and productions and things like that, you know, musicals. You know, I'm very involved in that, and I've been very involved in that. And I think it'll just be very exciting, very interesting for me. And I'm hoping it'll be as great as I hope it's going to be for both me and the fans, of course, to just really honor his legacy as the estate is trying to do, you know. But I really hope it'll be everything I want it to be, or hope it to be. Not everything, like, you know, not an exaggeration, but just, you get the idea. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's me covering the Michael Jackson on Broadway conversation. Like, again, it's a lot to take in. It's exciting. And, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to 2020. I'm glad that the estate is finally opening their eyes to see that they need to do more to preserve his legacy. We've gotten the Michael Jackson One Church Soleil show, which from everybody I've heard is amazing. I haven't had the opportunity to see it yet, and I was just in Vegas, so really wanted to see it. But I really hope they continue to get more involved, because that's really what they need to do if they're going to preserve his legacy. And I personally don't think they're doing enough, as many people believe. And I agree. So, yeah, guys, that's basically all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think about this new announcement in the comments below, and how you think they're going to do it, who they're going to cast, you know, certain things like that. Just let me know your thoughts on it. I'd really appreciate it. And once again, guys, this is Casting 4. See you guys in the next video. I'll be reacting to a few videos soon, so...